everyone, it's Danny. Welcome back to my channel and another 12 by 12 scrapbook layout process video. Today I'm joining in with the Scrap the Girls challenge, and this is the inspiration image for this month. It's, as you can see, a lot of bright colors and florals, which is not my thing generally. I love florals, but the bright colors is a bit of a trick for me. So I thought I would join in and give it a go because it is really going to challenge me. So I've got some reject shop goodies here. The ombre orange paper I have in the background is from one of their paper pads, and then this cut apart sheet is from one of I think the same paper pad. And I pulled a photo of myself and my nana. I'm using a black and white photo because there's a lot of color in this one. Yeah, I looked at that orange and white sort of ombre paper and all the embellishments, and I just couldn't like it. I was hating it really, so I scrapped that. And I'm basically going to use the same background paper, but it's a pink ombre instead of orange, and I'm liking that better. I definitely struggle with sort of well, any bright colors really, but I don't have a lot of oranges, so that was definitely a challenge for me. So I've grabbed this cut file. This is a Paige Evans cut file, I believe. Not 100% sure on that, but now I'm just going through my paper stash and I'm trying to find some papers that match the colors in the inspiration image. So I've got a nice bright hot pink, that bright turquoise. I'm looking for an orange now, and this one's a bit more salmon than orange if I'm honest, but it was the closest I could find. And yeah, what can I say? I don't have a lot of orange in my collection. So now I'm going to start to back this cut file. So I'm just going to back it with a few different colors. So all those colors, and I'll throw in a yellow as well. The yellow I use ends up being a little bit of a pale yellow. The yellow you can see there in the background is tissue paper, and I will bring that in for a bit more of a bright yellow. So I'm not going to show you me backing this whole cut file, so I'm just going to back each of the flowers with alternating colors of paper. So there you go, it's all backed, didn't take too long. And now I'm going to work on my photo, so I'm just trimming off the excess. I struggled a lot with the placement of this one. Now, I would have cut a full wreath. The reason that it is only sort of a 3/4 of a wreath is because I have a portrait, not a cameo. So my my silhouette doesn't cut 12 by 12, it only cuts 8 by 12, so I can't do sort of large 12 by 12 pieces. So that made this a little bit challenging as well. So now I'm just backing my photo with a thin border of white card. Love this photo of me and my nana. I just wish, the only thing I wish is she wasn't wearing her glasses because I can't see her eyes, but she's always wearing those dang things. So what can I do? So now I'm just going through and putting in a bit of photo matting. I'm using that same paper that I used to back the cut file. It's a bit of a photo mat, and that's another reject shop little 6x6 paper pad. I like that the paper has some of those splotches of that turquoise color in it, and it's gold, sort of gold foil flecks as well. So I thought with this being a Scrap the Girls challenge, it was appropriate to use a photo of myself and my nana. My nana's probably my strongest female role model. I love her. She is she means the world to me. I'd be lost without her. So, and I love this photo of us together. So just working on my layers now, trimming. The photo's a bit big really to go there. I haven't decided at this point whether it's going to go above the wreath or on top of it. So I'm just working on the rest of the layout before I make any commitments. So I'm going to do a little crepe paper ruffle. It's just like tissue paper, packaging tissue paper that you would normally use. So to do these, it's really easy. Well, I mean, it's simple, but not necessarily easy. It's a bit fiddly. So I'm just taking some white paper and some double-sided tape, and then just folding it like an accordion until I get my ruffle. And then when I'm finished, I will cut off a bit of cardstock, and my my tissue paper ruffle is sort of all secure, and I don't have to worry about it sort of falling apart. So, and I can move it around then because it's all stuck down to the cardstock. So that's pretty handy. And if it doesn't turn out exactly even, you can just take your scissors and trim the bottom edge until it is even. This one turned out pretty good though, so I just left it alone. So, so just like that, now I can move it around and position it. I don't have to sort of glue it directly to my photo just yet. Okay, so that's the same paper I used to back the cut file, but I'm pulling that out because I just want another pop of that bright pink behind my photo. So I'm just going to have a very small, excuse the traffic noise there, a very small sliver of it poking out on either side of my photo. Going out of frame a lot. So just like that, and then on the other side as well. So this was definitely a challenge. I'm pretty happy with the layout in the end. It does end up being very busy, which a lot of my layouts do seem to end up being quite busy. I struggle to leave empty space on my page. That's okay. So I'm just popping that little tissue paper ruffle right at the bottom of my photo. And now I've got these pom-poms. These are super cute. I got these from Daiso. They're just teeny tiny little pom-poms. And there are some colours in there that I thought would match. They do match the colour scheme pretty well, so I pulled them out. They make the page very thick, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. I like a lot of dimension, and I don't worry too much about filling out my album. So, and I know a lot of people struggle to use pom-poms, so I'm just popping them in the centre of flowers, and I'm doing tone on tone for these, so they match the colour of the flower that they're going on. Just a few, not too many. I think they're really cute. I love pom-poms. So just going to pop some foam behind my photo. So now I've decided my photo is far too big to go behind that wreath, so I'm going to stick the wreath straight to the page and add dimension to my photo. So obviously, because I put those pom-poms on as well, that kind of made that decision for me, because I can't then put foam behind that cut file as well as the pom-poms, or it will make it far too thick. So just using some tacky glue, and because those pom-poms are so dimensional, I'm going to go ahead and use 2 layers of foam behind my photo. And here's my title. Well, the main part of my title anyway. This was just sitting in my stash. I tend to go through and sort of cut a bunch of cut files at once. So I found this and I thought it was ideal, and I pulled my title inspiration from it. So I'm just popping that on there to trial it, and then I'm going to go ahead and stick my whole cut file down. I know that's where it's going to go now, so I'm just going to stick it down so I can get my title positioning right. And I popped those little butterflies up the top there that I fussy cut, and at this point I'm not sure that I'm going to use them, but that's where they do end up going. Playing around with some of these florals that I fussy cut as well, they do not end up making the cut, but I thought I'd leave it in just to show you. I do a lot of this typically. I cut a lot of it out so you guys don't get too bored, but I play around with a lot of things and change my mind a lot. So I'm just going to go straight ahead and stick this down. I'm using glue because I want to do some hand stitching with it. Just a bit of tacky glue. Because it is quite light at the top of the page there, so I want to add something to give it a bit more dimension. So these alphas are from Kaisercraft. I love them. I have quite a few colours now. They're just a good size for sort of little words. Does that make any sense? So my title is going to be So Thankful for You, and I wanted the so and the for obviously to be a little bit smaller, so they'll fit in those little spaces. And these are, I can't remember the name of these thickers, but they're American Crafts thickers. They're foam and they're really sparkly white glitter. They're really pretty. I do end up moving them over a little bit too. So here I'm going through with my awl, and I'm just poking holes for my hand stitching. And there you can see I've just gone through with white. I've just done a back stitch, very simple, and yeah, moved a U over a bit further. It just looked like it was kind of falling off the page. I had it too close to the edge earlier. And now I'm pulling out some paper flowers. They're also some die cuts from the reject shop. And did you spot that blue pretzel that fell out? If you go back, you can see it. I never saw that on the page, and I found it later on the floor. And it was only watching this back that I realized it was ever on the page. So now I wanted some turquoise flowers to go with the color scheme, but I didn't have any. So I'm just taking my Kaiser Mist in turquoise and spraying some of the light colored flowers. And then I've let them dry, and they're the perfect color. So there you go. Those yellow flower die cuts were from the Reject Shop collection. I can't remember which. I'm just going to go through and pop all those flowers up on foam because of the pom-poms and just to make them stand out from the wreath as well. And I did most of that off camera, so you didn't have to watch it all. So that thicker set came with a lot of little full stop points, like accent marks over E's and things like that. So way more than I'll ever need. So I'm just going to go and put a few of those through the center of those flowers because it brings in a bit more of that glitter as well around the page. So put this little butterfly on a whim. I quite like it there. It fits with the color scheme quite well, and then it sort of makes that diagonal line across the page from the other turquoise butterfly at the top. So as you can see here, I've got a bunch of sewing threads. I'm going to go through and sort of backstitch just some little sort of flat lines from the butterflies to make them look like they're flying out of the wreath. And I did that by hand because my sewing machine, obviously I've already glued everything down, so it would have been a bit difficult. I'm going through now with my Kaiser Craft Gold Mist, Shimmer Mist, and I started out splattering it, but I wasn't happy with the big drops I was getting, so I've just grabbed a little tiny little paintbrush just to give some little fine splatters. And I'm just I'm covering up my title there because it's white and I was a bit worried about getting a big splotch of gold shimmer on it. And I put a lot on. I think that's only mixed media I did on this page. It is, and that's pretty incredible. So now, finally, I've decided I'm going to pop my photo down, and at some point I put another yellow ruffle at the top of the photo mat there. I'm not sure when that happened, but did that off camera. You didn't need to see me do it again. So now I've remembered I have to journal, so I'm taking, this is a Kaiser Craft stamp set, and it's just sort of a tag with some lines on it. So I'm using Island ink, that's from Kaiser Craft as well, and it's just a nice sort of pale turquoise colour. And I'm just going to pop that just below my title. I have journaled in some pale pink Statler fine liner pen, and I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's just something about my Nana being wonderful, pretty much. So that's there. And then one final little script sticker that says all my love right at the bottom of the photo. And that's done. And I am really happy with how this turned out. I was really happy with myself and how I managed to use so much colour and really challenge myself to get out of my comfort zone when it's something I definitely wouldn't normally do. So thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys.